Monogamy is the practice of mating with a single individual over a long period. But in the animal kingdom, this is surprisingly rare. Only about 3% of mammals are monogamous. Among birds, around 95% form pairs at least for one mating season. Yet DNA studies reveal that many of them are not entirely faithful. One striking example is the Australian blue fairy wren. These birds appear to form lifelong bonds. Observing a pair during the day would suggest perfect fidelity. However, this apparent loyalty is deceptive. Female fairy wrens engage in secretive mating flights before dawn. Using radio transmitters, scientists have tracked their movements, revealing daily short trips that last only 10 to 15 minutes. Despite the short duration, it is enough. DNA tests show that only about 25% of the chicks in a nest are genetically related to the social father. From a biological standpoint, this makes sense. Social monogamy without sexual monogamy, pairing with one mate while mating with others, can be an effective strategy to increase reproductive success. For birds, forming a pair ensures cooperation in raising chicks, which greatly increases survival rates. Males can still try to spread their genes by sneaking copulations in other nests, while females introduce genetic diversity for their offspring. Infidelity also explains physical differences between males and females, even in seemingly monogamous species. In non-monogamous species, males need to compete for the attention of females, which can lead to the evolution of more pronounced traits. For instance, male gorillas are much larger than females because they compete for control of harems. In contrast, monogamous gibbons show little size difference between sexes. Humans show subtle physical differences between males and females. However, it is unclear whether these differences suggest a polygynous past like gorillas, or a socially monogamous but sexually adulterous past, similar to fairy wrens. Across the animal kingdom, strict sexual monogamy is extremely rare. Even among socially monogamous species, infidelity is often part of a successful reproductive strategy. Yet there is at least one remarkable example of lifelong sexual fidelity. Diplozoon paradoxum, a flatworm species. When two juveniles meet, they fuse permanently, forming a single organism. This connection remains for life as they feed on fish gills. From small birds to mammals and even humans, monogamy is complex. Social bonds, reproductive strategies, and survival all interact, showing that fidelity is not always absolute but often adaptive. Biology demonstrates that pairing for life does not necessarily mean sexual exclusivity. Evolution favors strategies that maximize reproductive success, even if it involves secretive mating or genetic variety. This insight challenges our romanticized notion of true love in the animal world. What looks like devotion on the surface may mask a more flexible, strategic reproductive behavior underneath. In conclusion, monogamy, especially sexual monogamy, is exceptional. Most species optimize reproduction through a combination of social bonds and occasional infidelity. Evolutionary pressures, care for offspring, and competition shape these behaviors. So next time you watch a bird feeding its chicks or a pair of animals together, remember, fidelity in the animal kingdom is often more strategic than sentimental. And among all species, a few rare examples like Diplozoon paradoxum show that lifelong sexual fidelity does exist, though in the most unexpected forms. Monogamy in nature is nuanced. Social bonding, sexual strategy, and reproductive success intertwine in ways that challenge our human assumptions about love, loyalty, and commitment.